All right. Back again for another week, seeing if I can turn back on the magic here. College football. I looked for it in the SEC last week, didn't find it. Did not find it. Only could go 2 and 3 in the SEC. I'm going to try this week. I'm going to try to hit it in the Big 12 this week. So, let's just get right to it. Baylor, -1 at Colorado. I like the Bears in this one. Robert Griffin is finally hitting his stride and doing the things that we saw the potential for him to do when he came in as a freshman 2 years ago. I think he's a junior now, right?
Yeah.
I think when he came in as a freshman, he's had so many injuries that he's had to overcome there. And Baylor's staff there is really figuring out how to use him. And they really put a whooping on Kansas last week. And I like the way their offense is playing at Colorado. Colorado's been up and down. You never know. They could play a good game, but they play bad games at home. They play a good game at home. I just think Baylor's a better team, and I'm going to take the talent of Griffin at quarterback in that one. It's just basically a pick 'em. I like Baylor to go to Boulder and get the win.
No, I like that pick. And you're right, dude. Griffith. This guy's
good. I don't trust Baylor, though.
I mean,
it's hard to.
He's
I don't
putting up
trust
some
Baylor
stats
either.
this year, though. 1,700 yards. He's got a 154.45 rating.
He's been lighting it up in
1,700
the
yards,
last 3
13
weeks.
touchdowns.
Most of it's in the last couple games.
A lot.
380 and 384 in the last 2 games against Kansas and Texas Tech. Colorado's going to slow him down, though? I don't know, man. I know Kansas and Texas Tech are nothing to speak of, but
Yeah.
I think he can. He may not light it up like that, but I think he does enough to win against Colorado.
And he's a sophomore, but he might be a
Sophomore, yeah.
He's a sophomore.
Okay. I thought he might have been a sophomore. K-State at Kansas. 2 teams that could not have had worse weeks last week. Kansas got blown up by Baylor 55-7. K-State lost 48-13 against Nebraska. Just got shredded against the run. I like Kansas. I've liked Kansas State a couple games this year because of Daniel Thomas, all-conference running back. Kansas is only 1-8 against the number in their last 9 games, so I like that trend. I liked K-State anyways in my head, and then when I saw that trend, I definitely want to roll with that one. So I'm going K-State -2.5 on the road against Kansas. Jayhawks, it's looking like a long season for them after losing to a 1AA and then getting slaughtered by Baylor. I gotta have faith that Kansas State's going to do it by at least a field goal.
Yeah, Kansas is just having a horrible year.
And the home field has not been a very good
rivalry game, though.
It is
Kansas.
a rivalry game.
Yeah, it's
right. Well, I'm rolling with K-State. So that's that.
Yeah.
Then we got to go to Nebraska. Suddenly, square in the national championship picture right now. They need this win this week against Texas to solidify their standing in the national championship hunt. But Texas, my God, when's the last time they lost 3 games in a row?
I know.
They're staring that in the face this week, having to try to go to Lincoln and win that one against a very, 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 very good Nebraska team.
Very good Nebraska.
Very good. Nebraska knows what's at stake for them, and I said it before the season in one of our college previews, did I not? That Nebraska, looking at their schedule, has a chance to has a very good chance to run the table and go undefeated. If they can, this home game against Texas was I don't believe they play Oklahoma.
No.
They will.
They play Oklahoma State.
Well, they'll have to in the. They'll have to in the.
The next 3 games
Big
are the toughest games for Texas.
Right.
I mean,
for Nebraska.
Yeah, for Nebraska.
They got to go at Oklahoma State, but that's doable for them with their defense.
And then
home against Texas team, who is not nearly as good as everyone thought they were. Nebraska's schedule. Nebraska, excuse me, I keep saying Kansas. Nebraska's schedule is very favorable.
It is.
But just these next 3 games, though, are their only real
After that, Iowa State, Kansas, Texas A&M, and Colorado.
at Texas A&M.
Anyways,
That's a tough place.
I like Nebraska thumping Texas this week.
Matchup plays really well for Nebraska.
-9.5.
UCLA had just switched to the pistol offense like 2 weeks before playing Texas and just ripped through Texas with it.
Yeah.
This is a team that really knows how to run that offense, And I just don't.
Taylor Martinez.
Yeah.
This is a team that's going to spread you out and run the ball. Their quarterback, this is a team that does that really well, and a team who had just switched to that offense a couple of weeks previously.
Nebraska knows what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing on the field. They're going to beat you with Taylor Martinez running the ball. Their defense is really good still. Texas,
fourth in the country.
Texas is totally scuffling right now. Gregory is basically he's going to try to start over at quarterback now. Is he the answer? They don't know. I mean, obviously he was forced into it in the national championship game.
Gilbert
Gilbert
just has not done well with this team. I mean, and they have no running. They have no running back.
The running game hasn't been what
and
it needs to be.
that's Texas football.
Mm-hmm.
Trenches, get out there. And their leading rusher is Whitaker at 234.
Yep. 2 and 3 touchdowns. Texas 1-7 against the line in their last 8 games.
Wow.
So there's another trend for it.
Yeah.
So I like those 2 trends. Texas A&M hosting Missouri. I'm going with A&M in this one to end Missouri's undefeated season. A&M's giving up 3.5. The reason why is that A&M, I think this is the week they finally stopped turning the ball over. That's what's really killed them in the Arkansas game and the Oklahoma State game. The turnovers really killed them. Johnson's thrown 9 picks already this season. But the guys got talent. Their defense is actually pretty good. Their defense looks worse because they've given up a lot of points because of the turnovers.
Because of the turnovers.
And because they play at Oklahoma State. But their yardage wise, their defense is actually better than Missouri's defense, who's coming off a shutout. If that tells you anything. So I like A&M at home. I think they got a little bit better talent than Missouri right now, even though Missouri's got a good quarterback and they've been having a good season. I like A&M. And in my final game, I had to stay away from that. By the way, that Oklahoma State, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech. Only God knows what's going to happen. That's another game where the over/under is going to be $1 billion, like the Hawaii Nevada game. Like if you're going to watch 2 games this week, that Hawaii Nevada game and the Oklahoma State Texas Tech game wouldn't be 2 bad games to watch.
Not at all.
But I'm staying off of that one because that's just going to be crazy. Iowa State. At Oklahoma. Oklahoma's another team in the Big 12, the other team that's in the national title hunt. But Oklahoma has not exactly been beating the pulp out of people at all this year.
No.
Iowa State coming off a humiliating loss at home to Utah, 68. Well, they lost 68-27, I think. But I actually like Iowa State to bounce back in this one, believe it or not. They're getting 23.5. I don't think Iowa State's had 2. They've had 2 bad games this year, but they've also played some pretty good games. And I just don't see Oklahoma, if they haven't blown anyone out yet. I don't see them getting 23.5. I don't see them covering that against Iowa State. I see them being able to pass the ball up and down the field and scoring a lot of points in this game.
Yeah.
But I see Iowa State also being able to get on the board here too.
Yeah. Like Oklahoma.
It's a tough pick.
Yeah, like you said, Oklahoma is the only team they've blown out is Florida State.
Right.
At 41-17.
Right. They did blow out Florida State.
Other than that, their average margin of victory is.
Iowa State hung 52 on Texas Tech. I mean, obviously it's Texas Tech. You can't say that, but they have some. Guys that can play a little bit of offense there. So
but they got trounced last week by Utah.
Yeah,
66 something.
Yeah, it was like 68-27, I think. Yeah. They got trounced. But that's why this is a trap game, because everyone you can't only look 1 week back. You have to look at the bigger picture of the season, I think. And this is one of those games that I'm looking at the bigger picture on.
Yeah, and besides
and
that,
I'm liking Iowa State.
And I like it. Besides that, like we just said, the average margin of victory for Oklahoma is like 6 points outside of that Florida State game. So.
Yeah. No.
I mean, 8 points. 8 points, 2,
8,
3,
2, 3, 7.
7.
They're not, like I said, they're not blowing teams out. And Iowa State's, to me, they are a little bit worse than probably Air Force.
They haven't beaten the crap out of anyone except for Florida State.
Right. 30 seconds left. Let me wrap this up. So staying in the Big 12 this week. Baylor -1. Kansas State -2.5. Nebraska -9.5. A&M -3.5. And Iowa State +23.5.
Probably just means they're due to beat the crap out of somebody.
I disagree.